Are you on a weight loss journey, but you live in a household with others who are not on a weight loss journey? What can you do? These are my suggestions. Hey everybody, it's Allie. I'm on a fantabulous weight loss journey, and hopefully you'll come along for the ride. So you guys know, if you have seen any of my content before, that I pride myself on being transparent. So I'm gonna start out this video by saying I personally do not have this challenge. I just want to make that clear. I don't have children. I have a partner who has also been on a weight loss journey, who is super supportive. So my situation is very different. And I just want to be clear about that up front so that you can take everything I say with a grain of salt. That being said, this video was requested by one of my followers. Hello, you know who you are. So I just wanted to throw out some ideas regarding what you can do if you are the only member of your immediate household that's on a weight loss journey. The first thing that's going to make everything easier and run more smoothly is if you can get everybody on board. And I know that if you have children, that may be more challenging. Some kids are, more challenging, especially when it comes to proteins. So give yourself a little bit of grace when it comes to that, and do things to make your life easier. And as somebody who was a nanny for many, many years, I can tell you every bit of convenience that you can take for yourself is going to make your life easier. And it's also going to help you be more successful. What do I mean by that? So, for example, let's say that you have multiple children in your household and your spouse is somebody who, gets off work late, right? And you are the one in charge of making dinner. First of all, you rock. Love you for that. Second of all, you want to plan your meals. And I know that meal planning can be time consuming, but it's something that you're going to want to do because it's going to make your life easier. If you can use pre-prepped meals to feed your family, right, that's going to make life easier. It's also going to make it easier when you're doing your grocery list. If you can repeat items, right? If you have family members or children who are on board with eating healthy foods, right? We want to eat what you're eating, then absolutely do that. If that's not the case, and I know it's not for many families, choosing items that are easy for you to track the calories, easy for you to prepare or to meal prep is going to make your life easier. And it's one of those things where you may make, let's say your kids are going through a phase and they'll only eat chicken nuggets, right? We've all been there. So you get the best possible chicken nuggets that you can. They make all kinds now where they've got, added veggies in the breading. They've got added fiber, right? So you do the best that you can with what you can do. So they only want chicken nuggets. Great. Let's see if we can pair that with a side that you're going to be eating on your health journey. So let's say you're going to be doing a pre-made, pre-cooked chicken breast. And I do these all the time because it saves me time. You can buy them at bulk at like Costco, at Sam's Club, or even just at your regular grocery store. You can literally have it ready in 5 minutes. It's great, especially if you're having one of those days where you're exhausted, right? You've been running around, you got a million things to do, you're taking care of your family. Love you for that. So having something that's easy for dinner is going to help you. So, kids, they want chicken nuggets. You're going to do the grilled chicken breast. Maybe you have a salad. Give your kids some of the salad. Maybe you're going to have a chickpea pasta for added fiber. Put the chicken on that with some sauce. Give them some of that. Maybe maybe you love broccoli, or like me, you love green beans. I am a green bean fanatic. So if you haven't been doing more green beans, please do, because they're super low calorie. You can fix them up all sorts of different ways. I just love green beans. Okay, I'll get off the green beans. Anyway, choose a vegetable that is non-starchy and jazz it up however you want for the kids, right? I know a lot of people put cheese on steamed broccoli for children, or they'll put ranch on it, or however you want to do it to get your kids to eat it. Get them to eat it. Don't force them, right? We don't want to continue the you have to eat everything on your plate thing. But keeping in mind, especially if you have young children, if they see you eating it, they are more likely to eat it. So even if you're having a salad with grilled chicken for dinner, right? Super easy, super quick to prepare. And they're having chicken nuggets and French fries. They will see what it is that you're eating, and they will take note of it. They may not jump on the bandwagon immediately, but they may be like, hey, your broccoli has this sauce on it. What's that all about? Oh, I really like ranch on my broccoli, which, by the way, I love ranch on my broccoli. So setting that example can be a great way to kind of ease the rest of your family to being on board. The other thing that I highly recommend that you do is have a conversation with your significant other. If you are able to get them on board, have them make their own meal. I had a very real conversation with my wife before I started this health journey, and I said, hey, I don't know what this is going to be like. This is what I'm reading online. There may be days where I'm not super hungry, or I'm not feeling well, or I may be nauseous. And one of the things that you can really do to support me is either make the meal or just be responsible for making a meal for yourself. And then I'll have a protein shake, or I'll have a, grilled chicken with a salad, or whatever the case may be. If you have a supportive partner who's willing to do that, it can be hugely helpful, because I can have a more complicated meal at lunch and then have something easy, simple, pre-planned for dinner, right? And it doesn't require a lot of energy, because that's the whole point. We want you to be able to set up a lifestyle in which you can be consistent, you can track your calories, right? Make progress on your weight loss goals and your health goals, while also not running yourself into the dirt. And I cannot say this enough. If you are someone who puts everyone else in your family before yourself, part of your journey is that you're going to take that back, and it's not a bad thing. You need to do what's best for you. And if you have a significant other, they are an adult. They are perfectly capable of taking care of themselves. If you make a child's meal for your children, and then a meal for yourself, and your spouse doesn't want a salad with grilled chicken on it, which, sometimes my wife doesn't want that. She's like, hey, I don't really want that. Then I have other things here that she can eat, and she can make it herself, right? She's got her little frozen French loaf pizza things, right? Which are not super healthy, but she's in a different place in her weight loss journey, because she's already lost the weight. So for her, to have one of those is perfectly fine. And it's something quick, easy. She can throw it in the air fryer. And if I'm not feeling well, or if I'm having something that she doesn't want to have, she's got options. So if you can do that, and you and your partner can work together to help you to be more successful, it will make life a lot easier. The other thing that I want to mention is making complicated recipes. While they look great on TikTok and Instagram and, Facebook, it makes it a lot harder for you to track those recipes. So making a casserole, making something that has lots of cheese. I'm not saying that you can't do it, but what I'm saying is you need to kind of keep in the back of your mind, okay, I need to be careful of my portions. I need to make sure that my meals are balanced throughout the day, right? So if we're going to be eating heavy at dinner, we want to take that into account for the rest of our day, right? If you're tracking your calories. And it also, while it is quick and easy, you don't want to be doing that every day because, like I said, it's going to be challenging for you to track those calories. Because unless you're able to find a recipe, which there are many out there now, that actually gives you a breakdown, not only of calories, protein, fat, all of that jazz, but what size the serving size is, that's where it can be tricky. Now, if you are somebody who is on these medications, who has a good amount of appetite suppression, and your portions are very small, this may not affect you. But in many cases, people are changing doses, right? And I made a video about why it's not the same every week or every dose. There are a lot of variables. So don't get into the trap of making casseroles and doing all of that, and then you don't understand why you're not losing weight. Yes, you are taking a convenience to feed your family, which is fantastic, but you want to be careful with that. If you're doing something like a cheesy casserole, make sure you're pairing it with vegetables. Make sure you're having a salad, right? Get that fiber in, because it's really going to help you not only to keep you full, but also just overall with your calories in general. Let's talk about snacks, treats, cookies, all of the things, right, that parents usually have on hand for their children. You may be in a situation, especially if you are just starting out on this journey, where having that temptation in the house is not helpful for you during this phase of your weight loss journey. When I first started out, I talked to my wife about, hey, we've got all this junk. She loves cookies. I mean, we've got cookies coming out of our ears. And I talked to my wife and I was like, hey, I really want to take this seriously. So let's bag up all this stuff and take it over to your mom's house, give it to friends, take it to work, right? And let's just get it out of the house for a little while, not forever, just until I can kind of, get my legs underneath me here. And once I've got a good foundation, we can start introducing those things back in. Again, having a supportive partner, a supportive family is really going to be important in these examples. And so that's what we did. Got rid of all the cookies, the candy, the cakes, the desserts, all of those temptation items. The chips, I'm a big salty snacker, so the chips, the crackers, all that. And then as I was able to continue on this journey on Mounjaro, I was able to have a better relationship with food and better understanding of what I needed to eat in a day. And I slowly started to introduce them back into the household again. And now she has her giant Sam's Club box of cookies. And, I have my bag of Sun Chips. And things are consumed in moderation. And that's the key. It's not about eliminating it from your life, right? And for your children as well, you don't want to tell them, oh, you can't have sugary cereal, you can't have fruit snacks, right? Because then they grow up to be me, right? An adult who, once they became an adult, decided to eat everything under the sun because they weren't allowed to have anything fun as a kid. So you don't want to take it to that extreme, but offering healthy options, right? Maybe you opt for some fruit snacks that are made with real fruit, like the fruit leathers. You can even make those at home and save yourself some money. Fun activity with your kids. You can opt for some sugar-free type desserts or treats for family members who want to consume them. And then if you consume them, it's not completely derailing you, for the day. And then work up slowly. And this is the key, because a lot of people go into this with this all or nothing attitude. Oh my gosh, I can never have a carb again. Oh my gosh, I can never have pasta again. I can never have bread. I can never have candy. And that's just not true. And you're actually not going to set yourself up for success if you think that way. So it's important that you give yourself some grace in the beginning and say, you know what? I find myself reaching for those chips way too often. I'm going to let the kids finish out this bag, and then I'm just not going to buy them again for a little while. Let's reset. Let's substitute with some dehydrated veggies or some other veggie snacks. One thing that I've seen a lot on TikTok that I absolutely love and have started doing are these little veggie boards where it's like a snack board. And of course you've got your dipping sauce, which for me is always ranch. And then you've got various veggies, and the kids can just devour it, right? And you can too. And it can be a really great way to get in more fiber. I know I keep saying fiber. But also have a low calorie snack that's filling, right? Kids come home from school, or maybe they're out for summer break, and they come in, they've been running around, they're sweating, they smell nasty, they're starving, right? You can have those pre-done in your fridge, ready to go. You pull it out, you pop the lid off. I've got one of those old school Tupperwares. I'll have to show it to you. This thing is fantastic. And I just fill it with veggies, right? Meal prep on the weekend, and I'm good to go for the week. And so when I find myself reaching for something, the veggies are already ready to go. It takes zero effort once they're already prepped. So hummus and veggies is a really good option if you want to do, low calorie snack plus protein. That's a good one. If you like cottage cheese, you can definitely incorporate that for snacks, right? And the more your family members see you eating it, the more they're going to be willing to get on board. What do you do if they're not on board? If you don't have a super supportive spouse, or your kids are just not having it, this is where I say you need to pull back and you need to do what's right for you. And this may be an unpopular opinion. I've already told you I don't have a husband and children, so take this with a grain of salt. But if there's one thing that I've learned on this journey, is I have to take care of myself, because I haven't taken care of myself in many, many years. And nobody else is going to do it for me. Nobody else is going to do it for you, right? Nobody else is going to take care of you. You are on this weight loss journey, this health journey, this fitness journey, this nutrition journey. And if nobody wants to take that journey with you, that's okay. It's okay to do it alone. If everybody else at the table is eating fried chicken and mac and cheese and biscuits, and you're having a salad with grilled chicken, that's okay. You can still enjoy the meal with family. And I think that this part is where people get lost. They get lost in the food, right? Because when we have families sitting down to eat, when we have, big groups of people getting together for an event, a birthday party, a bridal shower, a baby shower, right? It's like, oh, everybody's like, oh, let's talk about the cake. It has to be beautifully decorated. Oh, we got to talk about this. What are we going to eat? We're going to go to a buffet. We're going to have, right? It's all about the food. The focus is the food. I'm here to tell you, the focus is not the food. When you go out to eat at a restaurant, do you eat the same thing that everybody else at the table eats, or do you order your own food? You order your own food. You don't order the same thing your husband does. You don't order the same thing your wife does. You don't order, well, you might be ordering the kids' meal depending on how high that suppression is, but do you see what I'm saying? Like, we need to take back the relationship that we have with food and reset it. Because it's not all about the food. It's about the people that you're with. It's about talking to your spouse about their day. It's about talking to the kids about what they did today, or, I saw that you built that fort outside. What were you doing? Were you battling dragons? Right? That is what's important. Not the food on your plate. So if your plate is different than everybody else's plate, that's okay. Just like if one of your kids was not feeling well and you had made dinner and they said, hey, Mom, Dad, I really don't feel good, but I feel hungry like I should eat. Can I have a grilled cheese? You would make them the grilled cheese. Or if they wanted soup, you would make them soup. That's not the same thing that everybody else is eating, but you're making accommodations because they're not feeling well. Why would it be any different because you are on a health journey? Why would it be any different? And that's a question that I want you to ask yourself. What is it that would make that not work? Because I've had people tell me before, oh, Allie, I don't know what you're talking about. You don't have to deal with this, blah, blah, blah. It's so hard. It's so hard. Why? I want you to ask yourself why. Why is it hard? If you use your conveniences, if you meal prep, if you make healthy choices for yourself, why does it have to be hard? Is someone making it harder for you? Then that's a totally different question, right? So I've given you some suggestions. I've given you some options and some things to think about. And I definitely want you to go watch my Healing Your Relationship with Food video, because this is a big part of it. It's a big part of it. And I really want you to be thinking, what can you do to make this easier on yourself? You don't need these big, elaborate meals. They can be simple. And I get a lot of flack for that. And people are like, oh, Allie, I want recipe videos. I want, and I always think to do them, except I have trouble with that because I eat very simply so that I can track everything and be successful. And that's what works for me. And it may not be what works for everybody. So who knows? Maybe I'll do some recipe videos. Let me know down in the comments below if you want a recipe video. Okay, if you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. I'd love to have you along for the ride. If you're looking for a positive-only support group where you could get more suggestions about what you could be feeding your family to make healthy choices, definitely check out the link in the description box below. I've got you covered. And as always, be kind. Rewind.